Boom! World traveler, an entrepreneur, and a fashion designer. Beautiful fresh air. Everything's been cleared away by the rain. Out here and how holler at you, right? For some motivation. I had some alone time on an acid trip that got me into a mental state that I needed to have. You know, a lot of us will go through the motions. You know what I'm saying? You'll just kind of do things without processing them. We're not like exactly, we're human, we're not robots. And I think a healthy individual asks themselves on a regular basis, why am I doing what I'm doing? You know, my dream was to be in the best parts of the seasons in the best countries in the world during their best part of the season. I've spent countless of times in extremely hot summers in Vegas and extremely cold winters in Vegas, extremely cold winters here in Finland. I realized that I wanted to be only in the best part of the seasons. It doesn't take rocket science to obviously say I wanted to be here in the spring than to be, I don't know, here in the winter. But the plan was achieved, right? I'm talking about business. I'm still being my entrepreneurial self. I still get to go travel the world, making income, doing the thing that I dreamed of doing. But in my pause for my cause, because we all should pause for the cause, I look at my escapism. I look at situations where did I escape from something? Am I allowed to be happy even though I'm hurting from something? These are deep questions too. You know, am I still doing what's best for me? My acid trip with the most perfect house music going on in the background. I floated somewhere between almost going into a bad acid trip, which some people say, but it was just the thoughts, the manipulating the thoughts of the worst feeling, losing a child, to the best feeling, being free and alive and in the best part of the world right now for the season. Um, that was the dream achieved. To give myself enough reprieve to actually talk to myself, congratulate myself, and also kind of renounce myself from things that have hurt me. I had to have a conversation to say, this is how my life is now. This are all the accumulation of decisions that I make, have made, and are the results of what I did do. And that's something that I had to have a conversation with me and you. And then this morning motivation was to talk about, you know, our purpose. You know, it's purpose that makes you do the thing that you do every day and keeps us in patterns. I had to shake the patterns every day to get myself out into the sunshine, to go down to the gym, to go outside, to meet a friend, just to do anything but the routine stuff that would keep me on my phone, keep me inside, and keep me away from human contact. There's so much not being said about how important it is to have human contact. Oh shit, there goes the sun. Yeah. How much important it is for us to have contact with other human beings. We call it touch deprived, right? And to not have somebody to hug on, to not have someone to talk with, um, to be able to process is a huge element to human behavior. It's a huge elevation for all of us as human beings to have another human being to talk with, love, and grow with. That be friend or lover, these things are essential. I got to sit calmly. Now, how many people could do this? And maybe it was the acid opening up the different capillaries in my brain, but part of me was just letting all of the fresh air go all over my body, breathing it deeply into my lungs, remembering all the breaths I've had in China and the pollution that's there, how I'm probably in the most freshest part of the world, honestly, that's habitable. and how I build myself around friends that are healing me and supporting my dream and helping me with me score different events so I could sell my shirts and set up the ironing board. I guess I don't know what even to call it. My wacky ass hair. I don't even know what to call it. But uh, set up the setup to make shirts live, which is a dream of mine, to be around the world making shirts and people wearing the designs that I made that came out of my brain, overfilled me with some pride. It really did. It was like, wow, I fucking finally made it. You know, I made it out of the drama of England. I made it to Finland. I made it to a country. This is my third time here, fourth time here. I'm not quite sure. I kind of lost count, but third time in Finland was the charm. You know, it's like one of those things where I finally knew when to get to the seasons. I already met the right people. And now to do business here and get products from all over the world so we can sell it here in Finland in an untapped market, especially the weed products. It's just a overwhelming feeling of pride and accomplishment and connectedness that I needed to feel, and then also battled up my dichotomy of am I allowed to feel back to my pain, my loss, the hole in my heart that it really is there. So you know, as I kind of try to learn to love again, or become back to my former self, it's kind of like having a conversation with another dimension. The other dimension is me that didn't quit eating sugar, that still keeps overeating, that has the belly. Oh, by the way, I fasted till 3 o'clock again today, and it's been tremendous for me. I highly recommend skipping breakfast. I know it's crazy because I'm an avid breakfast lover. I ate all the full English breakfasts, a couple full Irish breakfasts, just so I Scottish breakfast, full Scottish too, just so I could say I had them and I love them and I love that the way that they taste. But maybe once a week, every 2 weeks. I'm not on a diet. I'm just not eating till 3 o'clock. I'm fasting, and also I need to cut the sugars anyway. Sugar was the drug that replaced cocaine. You know, replaced loneliness, replaced lack of energy. I used sugar to supplement those things. So water has been replenishing me. I don't go anywhere without a big jug of fresh water straight from the tap here in Finland, and been able to capitalize on being here in the moment, in my body, and appreciate what I came to be able to stand in the mirror and look at myself and love on myself and touch myself, to be able to say, you know, you did good, bud. You know, all these years, 43 years of having the skin protect me, not having my hands on my lap anymore, like Ramses, but open like Allah, and to be able to command or absorb the sun and let this free energy soak into me, and me also to breathe and complete this cycle of things. So it's like I was allowed to actually be my human self, and I can't even feel the breeze come in right now. Connected is such an understated situation in a world where we're all connecting to a device to stay connected. I really wish other people to be connecting with themselves. I know it's going to sound cliche-ish, but I don't just say cliches. I try to describe deeper into what I'm saying. Connecting with self was also, I had to realize that how I was treating my body was how my mind was treating me. That was an extreme thing. So if I wanted to really treat myself good, like we all say we do, I wouldn't do steroids, cocaine, speed, methamphetamines, whatever else that's been around me lately. I have no place for it in me or in my soul. And I knew it was going to heal what I was trying to fix. And there's a list of things. I went down them all. You can look them up too, for the cure for depression, the cure for loneliness, the cure for, you look it up, Google it, whatever cure you're looking for. I don't find that there are a lot of people that are actually following the steps, right? We would like much rather say, yeah, sure, I drink plenty of water, but did you bring 8 ounces of water? I mean, look how big this thing is from my head, bro. Like, this is how big this water is, but I go through maybe 1 or 2 of them a day. not trying to push it, just to keep the cotton mouth away and to stay hydrated. But I'm also going into saunas and I'm sweating, so it gives me another shock to my system. Some people jump in the river and they do some sort of shit. They're always doing cold dunks and tanks. I'm really not interested in extreme activities. But I like to lay in the sun naked. That was a great experience yesterday, to be able just to be naked as the day I was born, letting it hang low, even though it doesn't hang low, and be naked as the day I was born, and to absorb the energy, especially around my thighs, which are really white from always wearing shorts. But again, opening myself to Allah, opening myself to the sun, Amun Ra, whatever you want to call that energy, that aura, to absorb this free energy that we get to this life, that wakes us up and lets us know that we are alive, and to live while the day is high and there's actually light in the sky before it goes to darkness, and then we need to get back to a regular sleep routine. There's something about me regulating myself that has given me opportunities to connect with myself, to really let those deep breaths in, and to really be off my phone. My phone usage has gone down by 2 hours. You use your phone less than 2 hours than last week, or 1 hour here or there. It's been just going down steadily. I'm not glued to this thing. I do this because I made a commitment to it. But other than that, and a force of habit, I really don't have to do this at all. Yesterday I was having such a good time. I only did it for 10 minutes because I didn't want to waste my time interrupting, describing what was so awesome about being downtown Helsinki, and being cosmopolitan, and being in a European city, and eating healthy foods and chicken and goat cheese and shawarmas, and being with friends and having deep conversations and smoking herb and driving. I mean, none of those things were like high ticket price items. They weren't like I went to the amusement park or the zoo or something that processed my experience. And I was just experiencing the experience. And that's what something that I think. I know I had the conversation with myself deep on an acid trip, deep in the house music, deep all alone in the house. Now I finally got alone in the house, just absorbing people's energies, listening to people shit talk, inner fighting, cheating on each other's. My friends, one girl went with the other dude, and started some trouble, and it's just like, with all the drama that's out there, I didn't want a drama in here. And I know a lot of people say that, but are they willing to drink the water, do the workouts, and have the conversations with themselves, with the breathing exercises, and getting outside of their frame of mind to gain another mindset? So it's really one of those difficult things I don't think most of us do often. I might take psychedelics to be able to talk to the other side of your hemisphere of your brain, to realize, and to realize your own real lies that you tell yourself, limited self disbeliefs, but also hurt that we carry inside. So much trauma in the world, so much divorce and abortion, and broken hearts. We don't have an opportunity to focus on opportunities for okay and fine and not being in danger. We get stuck and pair bonded to so much drama and trauma that we'll never get to assess and relax to our current situations. Most of the relaxing moments are supplied by dopamine, synthetic dopamine. So it will be something like, I don't know, porn, video games, this device, any kind of things that aren't as real as going outside, feeling connected. We much rather stay next to here's the charger right here, our chargers, and keep our phones near us than our friends near us. Instead of reaching out and talking to a person, which would be the hard part to do because you probably haven't talked to a person in a long time, and you probably have no reason to talk to that person. The reason is connection. And if you can get off the device to do it too, and do it more sincerely, the connection's even higher. So it's way higher than 5G. It's 120,000 G. It's just because it's such a unique thing to be able to sit here with my friends and hear about how my friends have been in prison and how they're doing and how that developed, and watching the growth of his children, and my other friends having kids, and all of us growing up and watching other people's chapters as they shift through their stories, has been very interesting to me. I've been around maybe 10 people in the last 2 months of living with them, cohabitating with them, being on the couch, eating habits, sleeping habits kind of all coincide. And to absorb these kind of energies and these patterns, I really had to create my own pattern. I had to get away from the dudes that just want to sit all day and smoke weed. Believe it or not, I could have easily been that guy. It makes me a participation sport. I love getting high, but it also kills my drive. As the owner of Saints Addiction, the creator of it, I had to be real with my addiction to weed. Most people weren't going to talk about that. Most people just go, weed's pretty harmless. It is pretty harmless, unless you consider the loss of ambition not harm. And to me, that's not murder on the dance floor. It's certainly not homicide. It's not malicious, but it is sentient. It's almost silent and going underneath and taking away something that's really valuable to you. Similar to porn. I love my porn. I love jacking off. I just do. I'm gonna be not lie about it, but it's been a huge stress relief and dopamine enhancer for me. I don't know how you process your own sexuality, but what I also know is if I'm empty on my fluids, I don't have that much thirst to go for fresh meat. And if I just get quick meat that isn't real meat, synthetic meat, I'm not eating high protein, rich in vitamins, healthy for me type meats. When I'm eating the salmon here, big fish in Finland, so orange, bro. Like I'm not kind of almost like never seen orange like that on a salmon before, but it's so fresh and so full of minerals, you could almost feel like you're a bear and you're absorbing all the amino acids and the protein building blocks that make you into a man. Especially if you've been working out, your boy Saint's been my body's needed it, and to really key in on my body, like one's breathing regulation's all a part of it, which I want to breathe now. And to be able to sit with myself in some form of silence. They say to go out in the forest if you have any problems. It's because it parks you in the silence. A lot of us make decisions out of the chaos. And my mind wanted to go to chaos. Trust and believe that in the acid. It wanted to be how destructive I am, how abusive I am, how many opportunities I've blown and love that I've blown over my life. That was where the bad acid trip wanted to go. It wanted to go into kind of a beat up session and a judgmental section in my brain that I think even our lives, we don't even see ourselves as like judge and jury on both sides of hemispheres inside one human being, trying to always weigh things. I heard this in the Egyptians that they would put your heart on the scale, and I think your heart and your brain or something like that. I'm not quite sure, lung maybe, whatever. But they would weigh your organs to see, I guess, your purity, kind of like the weighing of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, something to this effect, where you can actually weigh shit out and see how healthy am I treating me, and me as in my thoughts, me as in the food I consume, and me as in things I'm willing to let go. I'm still there in my head, tears right now. I'm not okay with what happened, but I am feeling okay in this moment. That was a battle in my brain that the acid made me want to party and the music was high and I could feel the dopamines and I was like, yeah, high energy. The other part of me wanted to have tears and a moment of silence and a moment of crying and a moment of emotion to say that these things have hurt me, but this is where my life is right now. What you can establish once you place yourself on the map, orientate yourself and say, hey, I can move this character called me on this map called life, and I can place me upon this destination on whatever square that I choose, especially starting now. Now would be the decision where I was like, okay, yeah, I could rest on my laurels. I could rest on my laurels and just say, I've done my workouts. I quit sugar. I should be good. I still take the opportunity to have conversations with myself. A little bit of alone time really had me short this computer, like my grandma would say, and to somewhat forgive myself, somewhat celebrate myself, and somewhat to acknowledge myself as in where I'm at and what decision I made. I've already made it so far. My friends are like, "How's your trip?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's been glorious." You know, barring a couple bumps that were a month ago, I could barely even notice. And in about like 3 years, no one's 5 years, no one's gonna really care, or am I gonna care about it? So to put energy on the things that were momental, I don't want to call it monumental, but just momentary. Anyway, in that moment, how much energy do I keep giving these moments that have hurt me to let me hurt myself in this now? And that's a real conversation that has to happen and go, okay, am I still letting that slow me down? Am I allowing myself to actually be happy and free and breathe and respected and healthy? Or do I still torture myself, abuse myself, swallow the things that and inject or inhale things that aren't going to heal me, and I mean food or weed or whatever else that was going to go down? There's something that we do to ourselves where we almost stop treating ourselves like a self and kind of only identify ourselves as an ego or a personality, that this person has to show up, look this certain type of way, and act this certain type of way every day, which is fine. That's your personality. You can send in your surrogate, but the real person inside, the one that gets gray hairs, wrinkles, has scars and damage, trauma in life, that person has to have or can be given a moment of reprieve, a moment to have a good conversation with yourself and say, what am I trying to do with my life? What are my purpose? What are my goals? And why are they still there? And have that conversation about it. I do it almost yearly on my birthday, but just what are the goals? I've done it for so many years. Broke my spirit, so I broke my diet, broke my goal list, broke my heart, and then I stopped doing those things. Now that I started getting self-discipline again, I really feel it in my body. My body started to change. I feel better already. I don't feel so much as swollen as before. The sugar thing was an immediate weight loss situation. As soon as I could help myself get off of one of the most addictive substances on the planet, I helped myself give some kind of clarity into my mind. So now I'm not just chasing snacks. I can let hunger pains go by and start chasing my discipline, and make a competition with myself, or a pact with myself to say, we promise not to eat until 3. And right at 3, I'm throwing an apple in my mouth. Sometimes I can make it till 4. It's fasting. It's really not an objective. It's just more of a promise. And I started keeping promises to myself. So just like I would put goals on a goal list, goals on a goal list, this is also one of those things that I get to list down for myself and say, what are my priorities? Why are they my priorities? And do we want to keep them priorities? And then that's a big shift for my mindset, to be able to free my mind from mental slavery and the beat up sessions that I've been giving myself of what's missing and how I lost my son and I lost this great love of my life and I lost this opportunity, and sit there and go, well, I'm about to lose more opportunities in my pain if I keep on this path of self-destruction or escapism or whatever else that I'm doing or do unconsciously doing or knowingly doing. You got to add it all in there, because it's like one of those things that most people, they just want to be like, oh, I didn't know, or I wasn't in control, or someone else was driving. This kind of silence moments, my alone moments, is really to account for who's driving. Did I use my turn signal? Do I need to get out of this car? Because when you're driving, you might not know the outside condition of the car. How are the tires? Do you have enough pressure? All these good stuff, windshield wiper fluid. You know what I mean? The little shit that we all escape on our cars currently, we escape on our bodies metaphorically. So it's just one of those things where it's like I had to key into me, and really kind of unlock me a little bit. This is what the acid is for, to unlock myself and say, okay, hey, self, what's important? Like really, what makes you truly, truly happy. And the beautiful sunny days here out in the park with my friends, low cost, almost free. All I got to do is show up. It's made me feel tremendously. Long conversations, especially with friends I've seen before, getting to know them better, what's in their mind, what they've been through, especially since I last saw them, that I want to know. I want to see that vision in their eyes. I want to be that person that's not just all about me too. So that was another thing that, not just to practice empathy, but also to actually just not even concentrate on it. I'm right there for that person. It's my service. Part of it is not the rent that you pay; it's the service that's coming with it. A lot of people aren't on servitude; they want to be served too, and it's cool when you're in a high class restaurant and you're on vacation or some shit like that. The service, the what do you call it? Not pandering. What do you pampering someone? We all want to be pampered. My thing was to be healed, right? Like I wanted to more have to do the work. How do I heal the bum shoulder, the bum elbow? How do I heal it? By working out, by giving my body its natural resources to fight against immune system deficiencies or energy deficiencies or any other inefficiencies that I had. I can take it out there to the logs, out into the forest, and have real beat up sessions on the logs, and or just walks instead of talks in my head. And then in my head, especially on acid, it was even more clear and resolute. And I was like, what kind of conversations was I willing to have with myself? And it turns out, yeah, quite often I go back to grieving and self-destruction and beating myself up. But also, as time has gone by, I also know that I have to live my life and live it with quality and live it with opportunity and abundance and stop being such a um, oh, this happened to me, and be more of this, how much was I involved with it? Only in my quiet moments can I literally see that chessboard that I put myself on and sit there, quiet chess, and just the quiet chess of adding it all up and go, yeah, I moved here, 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 and here. If I move here, he can take. These other moves happen because I did this, and my pain wouldn't allow me to have that conversation. My clarity could, and not something that you get only when you start breaking yourself free from mental slavery or giving up something or showing yourself some kind of self-discipline. Then you can actually have the conversation with yourself. If you're still under the alcohol or under the influence, you're not going to be able to talk to yourself at all. That's one of the things that's locking us down. We want to just be numb, and that also means we're not going to be able to process good too. So it's one of those things that I've been in abundance, very happy and surrounded by love and comfortability and opportunity, and I put myself in that situation, so I wanted to enjoy that part of the situation. I wanted to do the show because that's a promise I made to my goals, and it's also one of those things that helps me to clarify things that just happened, maybe after trip, maybe after workout, whatever you're doing to switch up your momentum to get yourself back into a situation where you are yourself. People say all the time, I was not myself. Yeah, you were. You're just not the best version of yourself. And I'm trying to get people to the best version of themselves. So even with me not being outside right now, which I would love to be, but it's raining, but that's an excuse. The sun's still kind of poking out, or to the gym, or my hair's so crazy. All these things, I can sit there and just kind of go, you're not doing X, Y, and Z. But what I really did was talk to me, myself, and I. And if I can talk to this guy honestly, openly, and completely, then I can talk to you honestly, openly, and completely. And that's one of the things that I want to do is be congruent with my life and have the energy match the words and back it up. So for all those that back their shit up, peace and love. And as always, Chi Gatan. That means goodbye, but not forever in Phoenix. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. Tell me how you overcame some of your, complacencies and mental blocks, and also how to talk to yourself directly. Comment below so other people can get the hacks, all the life hacks, and all that other stuff. But I'm gonna go more breathing exercises and enjoy some of the rest of this day. Peace. I'll see you on the other side.